Alright guys, so up to this point, we've gone over vertex painting. As you can see here, we have our nice vertex painted landscape plane, and up to this point we've been using our landscape plane and this nice blend material that we've created. So I wanted to demonstrate all that stuff so that you guys could see the process, because it is a good technique and it's something that I've often used when I'm working on landscapes. But the next thing that I want to show you guys is runtime virtual texturing. What I found when using this technique is this is a technique for blending assets together. So basically, if you look here, we can see this asset has a very hard edge. And what we want to do is just blend that into this texture from our landscape. And the way that we do that is by essentially projecting this landscape texture up onto the surface of this asset. We can control the fade of that, the height at which it engages, and a few other aspects of that. It's going to allow us to really nicely blend this seamlessly with our terrain, and then we'll also be able to move the asset around and have it update with the texture that's applied to our landscape. The way that I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to create a landscape inside of Unreal here. So we're not going to be using our landscape plane. Now, the landscape plane was useful for our displacement, and it's also useful for our vertex painting because you're not really able to vertex paint on a landscape. But you are able to paint your mesh in a landscape, and I'll show you guys how to do that inside of the material editor. So we'll still be able to have our nice painted landscape here, but I'm just going to be using an actual landscape generated from Unreal. And that's going to also give you a little more control over the shape and the terrain of your landscape. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. I'm just going to hide this for now, and I'm actually going to go into our render settings and type render, and we're just going to turn off its visibility. Alright, so the first thing that we want to do here is go into our landscape editor. So we're going to go up to modes. We're going to click on landscape. And as you can see, we're generating a decent sized landscape here. You can leave it as is, or, you can always reduce the size. Something like that is probably going to work well for us. And, we can use our windswept snow material. We're going to hit enable edit layer. That's going to allow you to edit this layer after it's been created. We just hit create. And now you can see that we have our nice landscape. And what we can do is go into our sculpt settings, and we can just kind of start, sculpting something interesting here. And you can modify your tool strength as well. But what I'm going to do here is just go into my erosion, and we're just going to start eroding this a little bit. And what's great about this tool is that it kind of gives you some nice looking realistic weathering on your surface, so it kind of looks like it's got some texture to it. You can also go a lot more in depth with this, but this is going to work pretty well for me for the moment. So you don't really have to do that, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys how that's possible.